I'm back again with another analysis, this time on the GBPUSD, the pound against dollar. Just as a very short note, this is going to be an update to my previous analysis. You can find it in my channel as the previous stream. I'll put the link to the description so you can actually find it there if you're curious. So we talked about two short possible scenarios. Well, I will come back to you. I will go briefly to that analysis in this one as well. So let's get rid of these and let's take a look at the news that just published today. It's saying that sterling powers up after UK growth beats forecasts. So it seems that it was some sort of unexpected positive news on the UK's pound. The UK's economy advanced at a faster than expected growth rate in January, fueling a pound rally. The GBP USD soared on Friday as growth, blah, 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 blah. What is behind the growth momentum? You can read here. The British pound rode the wave of optimism to almost exist a losing week. So this is the news. Let's jump into the chart first, see what we talked about previous time with more information, of course, and let's have an update on this chart to see what is going on. Again, as you know, I'm analyzing this via price action method. So it means that I'm looking at price, nothing more than that, and try to analyze it with that. This is an approach that many many professional traders actually take advantage of. So let's jump into these and see how we can utilize it. I always, it is really important that you always start with a very clean chart. I prefer to start from the weekly chart uh, to have just better understanding of the history. So let me first of all, uh, just draw a trend line here, a weekly trend line, to see what is happening with this trend. Uh, I guess I'm happy with this one. I'm seeing a one sort of impulsive wave downtrend and some sort of breakout to this trend line. Let me quickly just grab this Fibonacci retracement tool to see how much this has been corrected the last previous one. I can see it is almost settled on the 50 percentage. I can grab this rectangle tool to just recognize it because I'm seeing a very important support and resistance zone here. Let's get rid of this one. Let's call out that, okay, this was the 15 percentage of feeble level. Um, that's good. So I can actually expand this level a little bit, and I can see price reacted to this as a support here one time. Again, after the breakout, reacted as the resistance here. Another time here, another time with some sort of a shadow here, and also next time just a few weeks ago here. So I'm happy with what I have actually fetched so far. I've, I've found a very important zone and also a good trend line, good information. Let's jump into the daily because we have talked about this in the previous analysis. And I don't want to dive into this a lot. I know that this is the end of uh, the rally. So this was the end of the the downtrend, the downtrend um, impulsive wave. So we know that we had that. So now we are seeing some sort of a correction to the 15 percentage of the Fibonacci level. So let's just grab this ABC tool. I can say that this is my ABC. This is not a minor. This is more primary, which is I can call it intermediate. I prefer to actually change the color. The primer is like this. We have had some sort of a truncation to this seed wave, um, in my opinion. So also after jumping to the daily, I can actually add more kind of arrows to this level to just show you, to tell you that how it is important. Anyhow, uh, we are saying that okay, this has been reversed somehow. And here is the point of the previous analysis. Okay, here is the previous analysis. Uh, Previous analysis, something like that. Okay, we actually found a very important zone. If I just zoom in a little bit, I found this as a very important support zone. And here I can add more arrows to clarify what I mean by this support zone. And we discussed about this previous time about two possible scenarios that it might be a return to top as a short term because the analysis was about 4 days ago, or a scenario downtrend. But I talk about this that because this reversal from the top, so we are seeing a double top here, resistance zone, weekly structure, this trend line, 15% of FIBO, completed ABC, and also if I bring up this MACD, I usually don't use indicators, but just the one of these oscillators, which MACD is my preference. As the just for the confirmation of reversals, I can see that this C truncated almost to the same level of A, but we have had some sort of a strong on MACD, which the another indication of the reversal. So anyhow, I'm seeing double top, and I talked about the scenario that because this is, as I said, it's a price action method. I can see that this has not been a rally. Now I guess we are good enough on the daily. I guess I can just jump into the hourly view. Let's reset it, reset the view and zoom out a little bit. Let me just shrink it to have a more complete view of that so we can see more details here. As you can see, this some sort of a downtrend. It is some sort of a diagonal because waves just encounter these corrections. Yeah, it is of course a downtrend. Yeah, from the top we reach to the bottom, and you can see each reversal, which counted as the correction inside of this, has been entered the territory of the previous wave. So, for example, this is the first impulsive, then the second. Uh, Regardless of how which one you want to count, you can see it has been encountered. Still has been actually entered to the territory of the previous waves. So this is some sort of a diagonal that usually happens when the trend is not powerful, and that's a reason that these waves just entered each one's territories. That's the main reason that I popped out the second scenario of this reversal, because I didn't see that if this wave it is powerful enough to just break this almost a daily important support zone. So, and we are seeing that after the news, this is the previous point of what we discussed. We didn't know. I also mentioned that it is not really good idea to decide or analyze the chart when we are sitting on a very critical zone, and we need to wait until to see what is actually happening. Uh, Anyhow, that was not the case. This downtrend, we know that what was the case, the uptrend. But now how we can continue with this as an update? This is what we are settled. Just this was a 10 minutes just recap about the previous analysis. So I can one of the ways in technical analysis, one of the ways that you can actually find the target of the wave is that you create some thread line, and based on that thread line, create a parallel channel, something like this. And I can now extend it. If I extend it as such, not moving it, just extending, you can see it has been almost reach out to this parallel channel. So a little bit of a breakout. I will come back to that. Let's also, we know that this was the case. This doesn't make any sense. Let me just get rid of that. We know that this is a very important weekly structure as well. This is what we draw initially on the weekly zone. I mean weekly time frame. So this uh, has been a wave because of that news, because of the positive news. You can see price didn't just reacted because that was some sort of a start of a powerful trend, a big candle, just downtrend, very long, and now that promising news just came up, and also it was even positive, more than that forecast, it seems to be, according to the news we just read. So it has been just bounced up. And we are seeing that it has, if it, according to this power channel, we have reached the target. Let's jump into the more detail, more lower time frame, just 1 hour, to take a closer look at this hourly wave. I can see that we had just sort of a rally and then some sort of correction, a gap, a correction, a long one, a correction, long one. But as long as it created a higher highs, it seems that the speed of this it's going to be slower. If I also bring up my MACD, I can see from this point we are seeing divergence as well. So this is the downtrend. This candle, as you can see, it is, of course, I can put it here, and we have a divergence. So it is almost the end of this news power. Also, we have almost reached this point as the end of this. So it might be a fake out to this power channel if we guess that it is going to be our target. Because I'm seeing those divergences, I don't feel that it is going to actually move forward very fast. So as a as always, I'm used to come up with different conclusions. Let's first jump into the 4 hour view and talk about the short term. The short term, I guess, because I saw that this is going to be end of this trend, I can say after this, this can be a fake out, just a return to level, just as a correction of this impulsive wave, hourly impulsive wave. That's one scenario. Or it is going to move up, as we saw that, okay, the higher highs are slower and slower. We can actually have a continuation to this um, level as we had in the previous analysis. Again, the link is on the description. You can see that it can complete our first scenario in that analysis, that it actually come up to this previous structure, something like that. So to the weekly and also the support zone. This is something that might be happen, or a sharp, a little bit of sharper uh, actually reversal, because this might take more longer, I guess, because I'm not seeing that much of firepower to this uptrend anymore. If it is going to be the case, also I'm expecting that again, according to the previous analysis, we are going to have some sort of uptrend probably to complete this somewhere to this level, or a little bit down. We really don't know, or even a little bit more up to this zone. This is also might be possible. So two scenarios for the short term now as the update, but the long term, if I go back to the daily view, if I just reset the view, Let's get rid of this previous analysis point. We talked about that. Let's get rid of this polar channel. It is not going to be useful anymore. We know that actually price also reacted to this level, but according to what we discussed, there might be with two ways, there might be a possible comeback to this level. So here we can see. I forgot to actually add another sugar to this chart. Let me just quickly do that. You can see that one of those reversal points that I missed, I guess it was in the previous analysis that we had this uptrend, this main uptrend that we discussed, but it broken and also retested. So this is another point that price reached out with a shadow, zoom a little bit with a shadow to this structure as well. And it might be another time that we're reaching out, but I I'm not feeling that it is going to fulfill it because I'm still thinking as a midterm. So let's talk about the midterm. We are still going to see some sort of reversal because I'm seeing that this huge uptrend, oops, sorry, this huge uptrend with a lot of indication where support zone, several times reach out to this, sorry, resistance zone, several times reach out to this zone, also reached out this weekly structure, this trend line. uh, Also, we have seen a breakout. We saw a divergence, a completed ABC, a retest to this structure, continuation of the downtrend, also 15 percentage of feeble level. So all in all, I would like to say that as a midterm, still I'm expecting a downtrend. So this support zone, I'm guessing because of all these reversals, is going to be broken. Um, in a midterm, not soon. And this is still I'm actually standing on the same place that I was standing in the previous analysis. But let's talk about the. I want to add a new information to the long term. Really, not necessary to talk about this because we also need to see the price action before talking about long terms. But I always, as I start from the weekly, also I want to give a conclusion of okay, what is the final understanding from the weekly perspective as the long term. So let me just open another chart, a clean one, because I don't want to use those analysis if we probably want to come back. Uh, let's open another one. Okay, I have another clean chart. I would like to talk about the long term only on this. So this might be another scenario. This is something new I didn't add. Let's just add this zone again. I didn't talk about this one to the previous analysis. We talked about this impulsive wave, uh, but if I zoom out more, you can see we pound just after Brexit, it had almost a downtrend. Always it just broke the lower lows, and this is the final destination. You can see we had a big shadow. Because I'm seeing this powerful downtrend, it might be also I'm seeing that as time passed, the gap between these downtrends just got lower and lower, and here finally with a shadow, with a very big shadow that seems that uh, really sellers are not that much powerful. So there might be a scenario that we have started not just an ABC and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and impulsive. So if that's the case, uh, just as a new scenario to the long term, we are saying that okay, this is going to be broken, but I as I said, I'm still a fan of my previous conclusion about midterms. So still believing that we need some sort of, or maybe more range market. I'm not saying again, I'm not saying that this is really powerful in order to break this zone very quick. So after this midterm uh, back, fall back to the more lower corrective uh, level according to the Fibonacci retracement tools, then I would say that in that time maybe it gets that power to just break this uh, zone, of course. So if it is going to be the case for this scenario, I would like to just show you that we have a reversed head and shoulder pattern, which this is the left shoulder. Very quickly, I would like to add this. This is going to be the right shoulder, and obviously, not surprisingly, it is going to be the head. And if that's the case, this support zone, it is going to be our neckline, or you can also argue that if this is the uh, actually the left shoulder. This is going to be the neckline. But anyhow, still also after the breakout, they are going to be in the almost same level, not that much of an angle. So this argue will not lead us to any point. But according to this, if that's the case and the breakout happens, of course, we are going to see some sort of corrections, retests in the midterm. But I would like to just tell you that this is going to be the target, as the target of the head and shoulder is the length of top of the head to the neckline, and from the breakout point, possibly in the future, it is going to move upwards, and then it is going to be a very powerful signal to actually uh, Great Britain economy. But just zoom out a little bit, you can see that we have a very important resistance level here. So it means that it can be extended as well. I can add some arrows very quickly to finish the long-term conclusion as well, because in the previous uh, uh, analysis, we didn't actually come up with this idea that it might be an impulsive wave. But anyhow, if that's the case, then this is going to be the target probably of that. Anyhow, again, come back to my main previous analysis, and my main idea is that it doesn't have that power, and I'm still expecting a reversal, maybe also even to the bottom, to create some sort of double bottom here. And then if then in that case, when it's reversed, I guess it is, I can say that it is going to have that power to break this, but not at this moment, because I'm seeing this as a very, very powerful um, resistance zone. And just as a side note, if you're wondering, okay, what about this head and shoulder in this case? Uh, okay, what about this target? This head and shoulder will be the actual, this is a possible reverse head and shoulder. It is not the case at the moment, and it will be when the neckline just got broken, and then after a retest and get some kind of confirmation that that breakout was not a fake out, then in that case you can talk about that target. So in this scenario that we had in the previous analysis, as a long term just coming back to the uptrend, continuing this bearish momentum, then in this case there is no head and reverse head and shoulder, and it is going to be just counted as an ABC, and the continuation will be as a downtrend. Then we can talk about the very, very long terms that it might be continued, but not really a time to talk about many years ahead. I'm just adding these sugars because I would like, because these are just educational contents. I don't, as a friendly suggestion, I just want to add that you should not take what I'm sharing with you here for your tradings. This I would like to just show you how we can utilize technical analysis tools, especially with price action method, and also covering different kind of scenarios depending to how price is going to move, how is the momentum, and it is all about price action. Anyhow, that's the update for today. I hope you enjoyed. You can find my previous analysis. I have other analysis as well in my channel. If you are interested in my YouTube channel, you can find a link to the description or somewhere. Also, I have a Discord server. You can ask your questions if you have any. But either way, if you're watching them on YouTube, I would be grateful if you put a comment to give me some sort of feedback. How do you feel about these contents? So I can be more compatible to what you are interested. Anyhow, until next analysis, thank you for watching me and have a nice day.